At this pivotal time in humanity's evolution, we are beginning to remember our organic technology. A technology, when used correctly, can create an experience that the majority of people the world over want to live. It is time to use this technology consciously for our own benefit and healing, and no longer unconsciously for our own demise. We are divine creatures, creating both our own personal and our collective experience, moment to moment. We invite you to join us in a reawakening of this technology through experiment and experience the power to create and manifest. Become part of the 3%. The collective imagination.
Welcome everyone to this week's Collective Imagination program. I'm Lisa Harrison, and I'm sure we've got an amazing lineup again today. As usual, we have Barbara in New York.
Howdy.
Howdy. You don't sound like you're from New York when you say howdy.
What can I say? I'm an anomaly. I am so excited, Lisa. Oh, the energy is so high. The people in the chat room are already posting like crazy. This is going to be a historical event, and I am so proud and excited to be a part of it.
Yeah, me too. Stay tuned, guys, because we are going to do our live flash mob during the course of the show. So once we've established ourselves a little bit and everybody's gotten themselves online and listening. So we've also got, of course, Chris in Melbourne.
Hi, everybody. Great day. Glad to be here. And I hope, as well as historical, it's hysterical, because we've been ordered to have fun.
We have been ordered to have fun. Awesome. Excellent.
And I think the flash mob is going to be fun.
I think so, too. And we've got Bob over in Pennsylvania.
Hello, everyone. Awesome energy. Amazing. It's like a tsunami, like trying to surf a tsunami. It's crazy.
And it's a really, really positive wave, I've got to say.
Yes.
And we may actually have Brian. I'm just going to try area code 858 and see if that's Brian. Brian, you there?
I am here.
Yay, it is you. Lovely.
Hi, Lisa. Hi, everyone.
How are you?
Doing good. Just another day down the rabbit hole.
There is no such thing as just another day down the rabbit hole, but anyway. Okay, I'm going to see if we've got anybody else, any of the crew. 212, area code.
Mm-hmm.
What was your name?
Michael.
Michael. Hi, Michael.
Hi, guys.
Hey. I will just put you back on mute, Michael. I'm just looking for some other crew members to see if they've called in. But I will get to you if you've got a question coming up later.
It's all good. I'm patient. No rush.
Okay.
Feeling the vibe.
You. Lovely. Awesome. And we've got 661. And, guys, we've already got this long list of callers. It's quite incredible. Area code 661. If you're in the queue and you've got your hand up, you've pressed 1 to speak to the host, then just say hi. It may be you. No? Okay. Oh, hang on. I should try that again. Area code 661.
Maybe?
Yes.
Me?
Hello.
Okay. Hi. You're Francesca
Hi.
from Italy.
I'm sorry, what was that? Italy. Francesca.
Yeah.
You tried to get on yesterday.
Yeah.
How are you?
Yeah, fine. Thank you very much. Thank you. Very well.
Yeah, welcome, Francesca.
Yes, hello, Francesca.
Hi, hello. Nice to be here.
We believe
with
there
you.
are beautiful things happening in Italy, so it's lovely to have you here.
Yeah, we have done a lot of things, a lot of research, you know.
Yep, great.
Yeah, but
I'm also going to check. Sorry, there's a lot of noise in your background, Francesca.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'll just mute you for the moment, and we'll bring you back out shortly. Area code 561. You've also got your hand up. Hello, area code 561.
Hello.
Is that Heather?
Hi, it's Holly in Florida.
Oh, hi. Hi, Holly. How are you?
Grand.
That's good. Do you mind if I just put you back on mute for a moment, and we'll get to questions shortly?
Terrific.
Okay, great. Thank you. We've got another 253. Sorry, guys, because it's really hard to identify crew members when they're coming in through Skype. So, area code 253.
Lois here.
Lois.
Yes.
Lois.
Hi,
Mom.
guys.
It's Mom.
It's
Hi,
Mom.
Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Hello.
Glad you could join us.
Glad to be here.
We are hoping that Heather can make it. She does want to come on today to share some information about the CVACs, so
yes.
We shall see. I'll leave your mic open, Lois. It's area code 336. Area code 336.
Hello?
Hello.
This is Randy. Yes. I'm just listening.
Randy. Okay, great. I will put you back on hold, on mute, and listen away.
Thank you.
Area code 304. Area code 304. Okay. Area code 304.
That must be me.
Who's that?
Jerry in West Virginia.
Jerry. Hi, Jerry.
Hi.
Hey.
I'm sorry. I'm just listening, but y'all do great. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, guys. The rest of them don't have their hands up, so I will leave that for the moment.
Yeah, Lisa, if Heather comes on, she'll probably come on the 661.
Okay, great. I'll keep an eye out for her. Not as yet. Now, for those of you who follow some of the interviews that I do, some time back I did one with a guy called Len Houston, who had created a game, essentially, which is really an education tool for helping people to get back in touch with their innate gifts, the things that we've forgotten how to use, our ESP, our telepathy, and what have you. And Chris has got an update on what's happening with Len at the moment. And I know some amazing things have happened to him since that interview. It's just been extraordinary, the opportunities that have come up for him, just great.
Yeah, it's one of these things that's basically whose time has come. Len's been working on this game for over a decade and has developed it to the point where it is ready to really launch on a large scale. And having talked to Len about his work and the way it's unrolled, I think what we're really looking here is if this will sound a touch new agey, but I think it's actually correct. This is a 4D, 5D educational process in action now already being presented to us. And I'd really love it if everyone could go to Lisa's website. There's a link that I'm hoping Barbara will post in the chat to take you to the interview, and a link to his page where there's lots more testimonials and information about his work. But essentially it's a game that teaches you to really reach inside and develop your emotional intelligence at all levels. And he's done work with groups of Aboriginal elders, with teachers all over the planet at this stage. He's done at least one world tour, and he's about to go to another one, which is the reason for bringing this up today. So apart from, I'd really love if everyone could go to his website, check out his material, because at its core, this is the sort of process that will start to reshape how people consider their very lives, and everyone can benefit from it. That's the absolute message I get from Len. This isn't just for kids, although it's brilliant for kids. He's actually taken this into classrooms of troubled kids, and within weeks, they're not troubled kids anymore. They are far more balanced and functioning better. So very, very important stuff. He's doing a tour which starts in Melbourne, and I'm putting a call out for people in Melbourne and Brisbane. There's going to be some small but quite intense sessions happening 18th, probably the 19th, 18th, 19th, 20th. We'll work out the exact times in the next week or so. And following that, this is of February. Following that, he's going to Brisbane. What I'd like you to do, if you're interested in participating, drop into his website and check his stuff out. Drop him a message on info@thewisdomclub.com, and I'll spell that. That's THE, the WIZZDOM club.com. You'll find that link at the bottom of his first page, and just let him know if you're interested in attending a session, especially for teachers. We're after teachers and people who are interested in promoting this sort of thing. But he does a great job, and yep.
Sorry, I was going to say he's also taken this game into the corporate environment, and it creates a different atmosphere at work where people are far more compassionate to one another. They collaborate much better. The whole work environment changes. So I know that one of the things that are happening up in Brisbane is he's being heavily involved in a huge workshop there for the corporate environment, which I think is great. But it's called the Wisdom Game, WIZZ. Wisdom Game. So especially for those in Australia, while he's doing this tour out here, if you're interested, go and have a look.
Yeah. Now, I'll read out the rest of his tour because it's worldwide again. He'll be in Hawaii, late February, early March, USA, Pennsylvania, early to mid-March, Hungary, Norway and Germany, mid to late March, back in the USA in April, then over to Taiwan in late April, and back to Australia in May. It's quite a big trip. So if you're in that region of the world, and we hope we're reaching everybody, drop into his website and let him know you're interested.
Thank you very much, Chris. Now, my goodness, we already have over 200 people in the chat room, which is just brilliant. Are we ready to do our flash mob?
I'm ready.
Is everybody ready? Everybody's ready.
Bob,
okay.
Bob, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
Yep.
Did you say Bob or Barb?
I did say Barb, but my accent, I think, got in the way.
I'm ready, dude. I'm ready.
Cool.
Do we want to give you some phrases to use?
Yeah, actually, stick the link in the chat room. Let everybody have a minute to pull the page up.
Okay.
So for those of you who can, jump on your computer and go to facebook.com// CBS, and that's it, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. /CBS. Okay. I'm there. And where did we put those little... Do you want to put some of those suggestions in the chat box too, Barbara?
Yep.
So we've got suggestions like disclose absolute data now, I am free, opt in, one voice, rip off the Band-Aid, and if you can, include a link to the One People's Public Trust website, which we will also put in here. Whoops, I can't type apparently.
I call shenanigans on these 372,000 likes they supposedly have on their Facebook page. Okay. So is everybody posting something different, or are we all posting the same thing?
These were just suggestions. Post whatever you like, but if it includes a link to the One People's Public Trust website, which I'll stick in here too now, that would be good. Oh, that's the wrong link. What am I doing? Sorry, people.
So you might want to share that website link, just for people that don't know it by memory.
www.peoplestrust1776.org.
There you go.
Okay, so I'm doing mine now. Post something. Do not address people's public trust. Absolute disclosure. Now,
I'm going with stop the lies and disclose the truth.
I've done why will you not address the one people's public trust? Absolute disclosure now. That's what I've got.
Ooh, nice. I like that. Oh, this is funny.
So let's have a look and see how that's progressing. And just type in for those of you who are in the chat room, once you've done it, just let us know you've done it. This is fun.
I'm done.
I'm done.
They don't moderate these posts, do they?
Doesn't look like it. Oh, hang on. Mine disappeared. Maybe I've got to go and have a look at.
Yeah, mine went and disappeared too. So another thing people can do is make comments on posts that are already there. I see.
You've got to look at post by others. Change that little drop down to post by others, and I can already see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh my God, guys, you rock!
Where's the post by others?
Where's the
here
post by others?
I see it.
Okay.
I see it.
Right
under
at the top.
highlights tab.
Yeah.
Got it.
So you can see where they've got photos, likes, just under that little drop down menu. Yeah, look at that. The whole front page is now. Look at that. Oh, you guys. That's brilliant. I love it. Well done.
Oh, my gosh.
That's funny. They're not gonna know what to do.
Oh man, all the different variations of the ideas that we can do with this is.
I say we do something like this every week, to be honest.
Oh yeah, I agree. Oh my gosh, they're everywhere.
Well done, well done, TCI. Love it. Very good.
Oh my gosh. Oh wow.
That's too funny.
Let's see how long they stay on there.
Yeah, we'll check back in towards the end of the show.
Yeah.
It's still coming.
And let's briefly discuss the response to the press release, Lisa.
Yes, we should discuss. Oh, that's another idea. We want to do a flash email as well.
Yeah.
So for those of you who have got your computers out and ready and handy, and you can jump on your email client, there is. Brian, do you want to give them an update on what happened?
On as far as the press release?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of questions that have come into the email. First of all, the call to action call that we put out in regards to people contributing to various projects. I think I got, dang near 100 people emailing in with all sorts of amazing talent from all over the world, literally so many different countries. So thank you for everybody that sent that in, and might as well plug it again now for anybody that wasn't listening last night. If you're interested in participating, some of the projects that we're going to be doing from a marketing standpoint or a creative standpoint, or you just have a talent that you think that we might be able to use for the greater good in getting this message out there, send an email to opptgroundcrew@gmail.com and put in the subject line support, and then in the subject line also what you'd like to offer. And I'm going through and I'm creating an Excel database, and I'm going to be reaching out to folks as early as, probably early tonight and tomorrow. Now, in regards to the press release, there was a couple responses that I got from a few people on Facebook. The PR web release that Patrick put out last night, PR Web got back. They sent an email saying that they weren't going to publish it, and that was because there was not enough information, and I forwarded the email to Heather, And, if you follow the trail of who's pulling the strings at PR Web, you can trace it right back into some of the corporations and slavery systems that are behind a lot of the major mainstream media. So PR Web is a little bit too mainstream right now, but what I want everybody to make sure they understand in regards to this press release is we knew going into this that not everybody was going to put it out. Just like we can't take it to CNN, there's going to be certain places online that aren't going to release it. But there are certain places that will. We're not letting that get the best of us, that's for sure. Secondly, there's for every few that aren't, there's a bunch others that are. I mean, I've gotten emails because I'm listed as the contact person. I got 6 or 7 phone calls today and a bunch of emails to that people that want more information. I actually just got an email right now, about 10 minutes ago, Lisa, that I sent you, and it says it's from the Open Press, which is another like PR Web kind of database where it's just open online press, and it says alert: the public trust forecloses on major corporations, including banks, in the subject line. And then it says, your press release has been approved and will be live on www.theopenpress.com tonight after midnight Eastern Standard Time. And then the details of the press release are listed below as the title, which is Alert: the public trust forecloses on major corporations, including banks. And then there's a link to the site. There's a link to the ad that's going to be going out. And then it says, thank you, the Open Press. So we're making groundwork whether or not certain agencies or entities decide to disclose this information. What people need to understand is that we're getting this information out there whether these folks that are turning it down publish it or not. So don't let that deter you from sharing far and wide. I got probably 10 emails from Craigslist last night that people used my email and posted the press release in Craigslist in their city, and I got 1 or 2 emails from people that were responding to the post from the post in Craigslist in various cities wanting more information. So the word is traveling a lot faster than I think a lot of people are realizing right now, which is great.
I've just got to say, the whole time you were talking, I've been going through that CBS Facebook page and liking everybody's post, and I still haven't been able to get through the whole list. I mean, it's just that whole front page. It's unbelievable. I am so impressed with everything.
Brilliant idea.
Yeah. Now, what I'd like to do is send a message to PR Web, and we can do that right now.
We can do that right now as well.
Just like we did on Facebook. And let's talk for a minute about why we would do that. We probably won't have any effect on them because they're obviously under orders, but this is probably more to the people sitting on that editorial desk who've been ordered to ignore anything from the OPPT, and suddenly they're going to get several thousand emails saying, we're not happy. That'll have an effect. That's the energy effect we're after.
So the idea here is you don't have to do it right this minute, but if they were to get it over the next couple of hours, hundreds, if not thousands, hopefully tens of thousands of emails, and the email address is, I will put that into the Blog Talk chat room as well, editorial, editorial, at prweb.com. Explain briefly.
There's... Go ahead.
Okay, go on.
We all jumped on each other.
Everyone talking at once. Yeah, it's all right. Go on.
No, finish what you were saying, Lisa, because you were right in the middle of giving information.
Well, don't make it a long-winded thing. Just keep it short and sharp, but allow your emotion to step into this and just say, I am disappointed, or, what's with your response? I don't understand, or whatever you want to say. Because we don't want a copy and paste, everybody say the same thing. So make it come from you. Make it personal. If you're angry, be angry. If you're upset, be upset. Whatever it is you are, let that go, and just send them a message and say that response of yours was not appropriate.
And just for those who haven't, just for those who haven't read the release, I'm going to read 2 sentences from the release. These are the ones that got up my nose, and it was this. The body content in your release makes no sense. The notion that entities like the United Nations and World Bank have been foreclosed upon is untrue to the point of absurdity. PR Web does not publish parody news, manifesto, general interest articles, or esoteric rants against major financial institutions. We suggest you contact our editorial team at editorial@prweb.com to request a refund. Respond to that however you like.
Okay.
Also, there is a White House petition to petition the White House also for disclosure, and the link is on the OPPT-IN.com website. So you can also.
This is like the third or fourth, perhaps fifth attempt at putting up a petition. So this one's holding, is it?
This one's kind of been holding for a while, so.
Okay, great.
There's been like
I know
5
the first couple
signatures.
Okay. Now, Lois, do we know if Heather's going to join us today? I know that she was planning to.
She was planning to, but usually she goes through Dee, and Dee wasn't sure she was going to be on tonight. And then Heather's internet has really been dropping calls left and right, so she hasn't had good internet connection today.
Okay.
So she may not be joining us.
Well, we have a couple of other things to get through. We've done our flash mob and our flash email. We've got, and we've mentioned Len, and we've also got a mutual friend of all the crews here, Julien Wells. And I'm going to give a little brief introduction to Julien, and he can correct anything I say that's not accurate. But Julien sees energy, and I think you're going to enjoy this, Lois. Julian's been reading the documents, and when he does, he literally sees energy come off the page. And at the same time has been receiving these downloads of information, really putting meat on the bones of the CVACs. And this is by no means an official or definitive explanation of what they are. This is one person's interpretation of how they may look as they roll out and evolve. And this is what he's getting from an energetic perspective. Julien did put in a great post on the opt-in Facebook page, or was it the TCI Facebook page? Barbara, you can correct me on that.
It was the Collective Imagination Facebook page earlier, what is this, Tuesday? I think it was a couple of days after last week's show, wasn't it, Julien?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, towards last week, end of last week. And that was his initial sort of download about this, and I know he's had many versions of it since. But we wanted him to come out and share it with you, and in the hope that it starts a conversation, and gets people really thinking about what these could look like, and being the collective intent and the collective imagination, if Julian's impression feels good to you, the more energy you give to that, obviously the stronger that reality becomes. So, Julien, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
So, when did you first start to read these documents?
I started reading them ever since they were posted, but and I got some interesting impressions, but I looked at the detail in the wording, and I decided not to read through them. They just seemed like they were a lot of trouble, and I wasn't really sort of seeing what was happening in regards to the One People, Trust at the beginning of January. But as I got more excited about the subject, I went back and started thinking there might be some nuggets in there I could find. And as I started to do that, elements of the page and then more and more of the page began to literally show me a resonant energy that I guess you could sort of observe in the same way that you observe auras. Auras are a residual energy that comes off of the body and becomes and is nearly physical. And so there was this energy that I've never seen on anything that was not a person or something alive like a plant, actually coming off of this, especially in the area of the fingerprints and the signatures. And I was like, holy crap.
Do you think, is it the consciousness or the energy of the document itself, or of the people who participated in its creation have infused their energy into it? How does it work?
So it comes from, as I feel it, it comes from the initial intent of the individuals, how much, you could say, thought energy has been put on it, how much time has been placed into this document and its creation through manifestation, that comes into reality based on how much time you spend your thought time. The more you think of something, the more it becomes real, and it has many more hours than what I could imagine the trustees have put into it. Like, it had to have been a co-created element. Like, it actually is the answer and the physical manifestation of, lots, hundreds of thousands of people. That's my interpretation.
Yeah, and Lisa, the same thing happened to Heather. And it's the same thought, is where the words illuminated. So she would take the illuminated words and letters, and then the words that weren't illuminated, she threw out. So she does a lot like, I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Julien.
Yeah. Julien. So she was operating similar to you when, even before the CVACs. I mean, this is also during the UCCs. So that's how her data has been coming to us, is illuminated. If it's illuminated, it's for her to keep, and what's not illuminated, she throws away.
Yeah, so there is sort of a third eye element to it. So I understand why other people might not be able to see it. But I think if anyone is in that position where they're just beginning to see energy, they are likely to be able to see it.
Yes.
That's actually how Heather responds to all of her emails, too, because she gets so many. The emails that really illuminate to her are the ones that she responds to, and the ones that don't, she doesn't respond to. And that's not to say that the ones that don't illuminate aren't important, but if Heather spent all her day responding to everybody's emails and phone calls, she would never get anything done behind the scenes that she's doing that's so valuable. But I know that's what she does and how she manages that task.
Yeah, I can see that. But anyhow,
and what did the energy tell you then?
So it told me, it was the kind of energy where it feels like a warm blanket. Does that make sense? Like you are so comfortable. That feeling of home. It's that feeling of this pattern resonates with you. But that's just my terminology of it. But through this experience of seeing that, I got really excited, and I started getting more involved in research and following the information. And I got to the point where I wanted to start getting this information out, and so I volunteered to do some transcribing. And I discovered I'm not very quick at typing, and I had to play the show at about 50% speed, and it would go really slow, and I can hear every little enunciation. But as I was transcribing, words sort of like had twice the impact on me. So it was really penetrating. The discussion was really penetrating into my energy field and my thoughts. And that's when I started actually getting glimpses of portraits of what the future would look like. And I'm not talking about the distant future, and I'm not saying that I, usually think about having, glimpses of the future, but I got you might say, like a tapestry image of what it would look like when the CVACs go official, and for the near term after that. And I got really excited, and so I started sharing with my brother and sharing it with Chris and other people. And I decided I just got to post this on Facebook and let people know, because I first got the impression that this is what it would be, but then I got to the point where logically I started looking at it and I said, this is pretty organic. Like this makes a lot of sense to me. So
just elaborate. Tell us what.
Okay, so the first thing I didn't really understand CVAC, and even after I read through the CVAC documentation, it didn't really tell me what the CVAC would do. Like in a physical sense, what do we expect to see from it? But from this tapestry, I saw that it wasn't going to be a new government. It was going to be able to replace what a government does, and it was going to be able to replace what banks do for us, in the sense that it became sort of like a logistical entity that helped people's intentions interact with each other. So at the onset, let's talk about when it first comes out, it would be used to transition people out of the old banking system. Because, we have all this trust funds, and we're trying to find a way to access them. And people don't really know, how to do that. You imagine, let's just get everybody their, $10 million worth of money, and, that's what they've earned. That's been kept away from them. But that doesn't really work. So the organic way of it coming about would be determine how the money would reach people. And so the CVACs would be a tool that would determine how the funds would be released. And how I saw the CVACs being interacted with was that it was based on members. People would become a member of a CVAC, and they would help determine what sorts of criteria that people could draw from the funds. For example, some kind of petition would be created, and people within the CVAC would vote on it and determine if that was, a good idea or not a good idea. And an idea could be like, people don't have homes right now. Let's, sign this petition so that people can have their houses, paid for under the sort of new funds that come from the CVAC. And then people would apply and receive the funds from the CVAC to do that. And they can be, it can be given, freely. This is how, however much you need. It can be a set limit. It can be, this is how much you can borrow and try to give it back, sort of idea. But it turns into a system of creating multiple petitions over and over, and the members of the CVAC deciding, how the funds would be freed. And in general, I saw this initially as only working with things that benefited humanity in general. Things were like, I'd like to take some funds out because I want a Corvette, just wouldn't fly with the majority of the members of the CVAC. But things like, I've got this project that supports free energy, I'd like to do this, or even a situation where, I want to help society by being a garbage man because no one wants to do it, and I think this is a good idea. And if the CVAC, has generally agreed that those things are worth funding, well, then they fund it. And that is the very basic concept at its core. The idea is also that, everything is at 0% interest. It's not like you must pay it back. And it's not like in this new system where we are acquiring funds from a CVAC that you can't be in the negative. You can borrow from, a system and be in the negative. In today's world, that would be considered being in debt. But in this system, it's not such a hindrance. It's only that what transactions occur through the CVAC are all public. Everything is visible for everyone to know what everyone is receiving. There's no private accounts or anything like that. Anything that gets passed between the CVAC and the individuals is public, and if anybody transfers funds between each other, you can do that. You can give someone else money for doing a service for you. That's also transparent. That's also on sort of like a record. And if we were to just look at today's financial system, obviously there's so many hidden transactions that we really have no idea who's holding on to what and who's doing what behind our backs, and if the system is trying to take us down. But
Julien, if I could just make a comment here, just while you're talking, I just want to remind people remind them of one thing. Julien's presenting a particular version of things, a view on things that's been put through to him. And it doesn't have to be that. He's not actually saying how it's going to be. He's saying this is how it could be. Now, we could end up with something very similar to what he's saying, or some flavour of it. And I just wanted to read out the sentence in the CVAC Constitution which deals with access to value, because this is a bit of a conundrum. How do we access the value? How is it done in a sensible fashion so people don't go nuts? All it says is that to duly provide immediate access of value of and to said states of body, that's us, for their absolute unencumbered use. Okay. Now, somewhere between that statement, which appears to be anyone can have what they want any time, to what Julian's talking about, which is a fairly measured way of dealing with the movement of resources through it. Somewhere in there is where we've got to get to, and I don't want you to take what he's saying as fixed in stone. It's an issue that we will decide what to do about when the time comes. Just chew on it as he's talking.
One thing I wanted to clarify, Julien, what you're referring to, it's very interactive. So what you're saying is that anyone who joins has a voice in determining how funds are used.
Yeah, it's like a bank that you have shares in, but you better speak up, otherwise it might not work in your favor. If that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, yes and no, but I don't. I think the integrity and complete and total responsibility that each individual has, if in participating in a CVAC, means that you can't make a decision that could be in any way harmful or disadvantageous to anybody.
So if you take it just on, some general examples, if we're talking about when the CVACs could begin, at the beginning it's going to be talking about taking out funds to help people in need, because we have lots of people in need, and there's lots of people who, don't have the funds where they kind of need them. At the beginning, the opening of a CVAC may be just to cure the ills that people are having right now. Later on, it can get more detailed.
This actually is reminding me of one of the conversations we had with Heather in regards to whether or not we need representations of energy, because that's what currency is, or whether we can just do away with the representations. Because if we do away with representations, we all have an unlimited amount of energy.
Now, what I got from this was, if we want this to sort of spread very quickly in today's society, in today's world, people are not going to understand that. It's got to have numbers associated with it. It needs to be not so far removed from something they can recognize. And that's how it'll come out quickly.
Heather and I were talking about the CVAC today, and Heather was saying that it's going to be a transition that is familiar to the people at first, like, a contractual type thing, where you don't do harm to anyone and so forth. But it's actually going to go past that, because it's going to eventually get up to the point where it used to be in old hand times. It's going to be your word. It's like the handshake. Okay, I'll do this for you, you do this for me type thing. It's eventually going to get to that position, and your vibration, for that to work with the CVAC, your vibration has to be, a good intention, transparency, all the above that they've talked about before. But your vibration has to be up there for you to really access anything. It's like the gold exercise that she gave us about playing with the gold, and how gold would be in each city, and with this invisible vault over it, and you're able to go into the vault if the gold recognizes your vibration, and your vibration is the same as the gold, and you go in and dance with it. So the CVAC, because of transition, it's got to be an easy transition, and you're right that people have to recognize first, and it'll probably be contractual, and I don't think it'll be members saying, well, we're going to vote on this or we're going to vote on that. I don't think it's going to be that way at all. I think it's going to be on an individual basis, and it's going to be on your liability. You're going to have to take personal liability with whatever you are asking for. And people, if they know that they're liable for something, it'll work out a lot better that way. Does any of that make sense?
It does.
Definitely.
It works really well. And I do believe in contracts at the start, because there'll be a point where contracts won't really matter anymore because we'll be at such a connected level. But where I'm coming from is a lot of people are facing a major financial meltdown in the system, the old system. And a lot of people are ready to step into a new solution. Now, not hardly anybody has an idea of what that's going to be, and this could be that tool that people can see something that is not based on debt, is not a debt-based asset system. So for the layman to walk into this, you would think that they'd have to have a high sense of responsibility, because we're kind of moving into, we are moving into a civil law system. However, that jump, as I saw it in the portrait, was too big for people to do in a short period of time. There'd be a little bit too much fear surrounding that. And if the transition was too great a jump, then the fear can be manipulated by surviving cabal members into, jumping into systems that would benefit them and put them back in a position of power. So the reason why, I can't say the reason why, but how I feel like when it comes to everyone having a personal responsibility, it comes down to everyone has a personal responsibility to making the CVAC the best that it can be. At the beginning, it could be that only sort of light worker type people are even going to be aware of it. And so they would be able to put it on its first couple feet, take its first couple feet in a really positive way. But
Julien, that's one of the things I just wanted to say. When you see energy like that on the page, what you're seeing is basically a casting of a vibration, a pattern of energy. And when that information goes out, you've literally got to raise yourself up to that vibration in order for it to present it to you in the first place. These documents and this information and this consciousness, this awareness, is basically coming to the people who are ready for it. So we've got to start to move into tune with the universe in order to even get this information. And this is one of the beautiful things about it. There's a lot of worry because a lot of times people aren't used to tapping in and doing things energetically. But when things are done energetically, they kind of naturally flow. And there's no worry in the system because although there may be challenges, there may be problems in the interim, it will work itself out. And in unexpected ways, because you really can't predict something like this. This is where you're going to have to find a balance between the left and the right brain, and the heart and the mind. I look to refer more to the heart and the mind, because when you're trying to do things in an organic way, the mind is the wrong tool to use. It's like trying to pick up water with a pair of pliers. It's just the wrong tool. You need the infinite tool, and that involves tapping into that power source where we all have your eternal heart. This is what we need to tap into. And when you tap into that, you begin to understand exactly what vibration you need to, because we're entering a period of time when if you're not in vibration, it just won't work. Something will happen. Your computer won't access the site. I don't know how, but it just won't work.
Bob, you're actually reminding me of a dream I had last night, which was seeing the CVACs, the structure of the CVACs as a sphere, a globe, a ball, that has like a force field around it. And we're all being attracted to them. And as we get closer and closer and closer, our frequency and our intent becomes higher and purer. So by the time you reach it, you're actually ready for it. And for those who, for whatever reason, come up against it and they're not there, they just can't enter it. There's this force field. So when you, and actually, Julien, you triggered the memory when you said, you know, the existing cabal members can kind of get in there and corrupt it. I just don't think that they can. Because I went to sleep last night really thinking about these CVACs, and that was the image I woke up with this morning. The closer we get, the more the purer our intent, the more transparent our intent, and the higher our frequency is raised. Just in order to interact with these things, and that feels really, really true for me right now. And they are going to evolve, and they are going to grow, and they are going to change, and it's all going to be because we are evolving and growing and changing, and we are, as Heather would say, getting closer to absolute data, and we can make better choices as a result. What do you think of that?
And
Lois?
also hold the space for those people who aren't ready, and we're the ones that are holding the space for them to help educate them, because not everybody is all at the same level at all times. So we're holding space for those. And as far as the cabal goes, they won't be able to. They can't do anything. They're through. They can't enter into the absolute source. They just can't, because they wouldn't be able to exist. Just like love, just like anger and fear and all that stuff can't exist in the absolute source. So there won't be a worry about it. You go ahead.
I'd just like to share another part of the image that I received. I don't think I've sort of covered sort of all the corners of the explanation. One of the big things that got me excited was how it would actually take its first couple steps. I saw one of the first most likely, like just broad rule petition that would be signed would be anyone who wants to join this can join it, but how would you get them on board? You'd say, well, what we're going to do is with this new, call it a financial system at first, would be everyone would actually get paid through the CVAC the same amount of money they're getting paid right now, so that it would functionally replace everyone's salaries. Now, obviously, that couldn't stay that way. We couldn't just have everyone being paid by the CVAC, and so what came right after that was that petitions would actually have an expiration date. So a ruling would last approximately 3 months, and then in 3 months, we'd figure out what would happen next. And by that occurring, the first element, everyone would be looking for a solution, for the financial solution. They would get a financial solution. They'd get the money that they need. They'd get a system that they would be able to switch over from. And at that point, they could start asking, okay, well, how did this, okay, this works, but how did we come to this? How is it that we don't get money? And how is it the government is not helping us in this? And how come, we've all agreed to use this new system?
You got to remember too, with the CVAC, everybody is debt free. So if everybody's debt free, that means their homes come back. Everything that was done to them or harmed them all comes back to them. So, I mean, how would you feel if someone came up to you and said, by the way, you're debt-free? You don't owe the bank. You don't owe this. You don't owe this here. You don't owe that there. So it opens up many opportunities for other things. So in the CVAC there, it does say that everyone will be debt-free.
It does, but what I'm speaking about is the transition process. We will all be debt-free, but as a first step to make it not such a foreign element, say one credit from a CVAC is worth $1. So if you go and you basically decide that the CVAC will continue to pay your salary, you can transition to it right away. But what you're looking at is that that's still a temporary solution. That 3 months from now, once that ruling is up, we'll be looking at people making new decisions about what will get covered, and it may be just like we've done in our own financial structure. There can be an extension on that because it might take longer than 3 months to determine where people are going to go under this new financial structure. But because of the new financial structure being sort of the subject of the day, it will get people to start looking at the whole system, why it doesn't work and why this new system does. And so it'll point the light at all the reasons why the other one failed.
Well, and why do you think we're being prepared with the digital system? The digital system is fairly new to us in our online banking and everything going digital and taking photographs from your cell phone to make a deposit. Everything is digital. You're not going to see a cash flow. There's not going to be a monetary thing. It's going to be digital. And then from there, it's even going to go further.
Guys, I'd actually like to bring some callers out and get their impressions and
Lisa, real quick,
of what's going on. Yeah.
Can I make a real quick announcement?
Of course.
Let's get the whole audience. We might as well keep this flash mob thing going. Anderson Cooper CNN has about 775,000 likes on his. It's facebook.com/AC360. Everybody that's liking all the other posts on the other one, which is blasting right now, go over to facebook.com/AC360 and let's keep this going. All right. Back to you.
AC360. I'll just find it and stick it into. Here we go.
AC360.
Stick it into the chip.
Cool. Thanks.
Lovely. Oh, that's a great idea.
Might as well keep it going.
Yeah, I'd say so too. I'm just going to have a look through my list here because we've got quite a few people. And they've all got their hand up. So area code 613.
Hello, Lisa, Brian, gang.
Yes.
It's Daryl.
Hey, Daryl.
It's not the same one that was yesterday. That wasn't me, by the way.
Oh, okay. You're not Daryl from Canada.
I hate to interject into the CVAC thing, but I want to jump back to something that was mentioned in the PR web, where they said they declined that. That is disinformation that's out there. That has nothing to do with the latest release. That is something from December. So I just want to let your listeners know that that's still in the process. It has not been declined. It's still going through the mill.
Ah, okay.
Thanks, Daryl. Very interesting.
You're welcome.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
So we'll get.
So maybe we shouldn't flash email them in a negative fashion at all, folks. Maybe we should flash email them saying, "Do it, do it, do it."
That's right. Because they wouldn't have gotten. They wouldn't have gotten the one that was released because it would have went out yesterday afternoon. So it takes 24 to 72 hours to go through the system, and then they'll have a look at it. They'll either accept it or reject it. The one that you guys were talking about was from the release on the 25th of December, and it took the PR web this long to respond to reject it.
Okay. Well, let's just encourage them to move forward on it.
I think they will because they'll be getting the second one. Anyway, I just want to keep things on the rails here, and I'll let you get back to your discussion.
Thank you very much for the update, sir. Lovely. Okay, I'm going to bring up to 612. 612 area code. 612 area code. That might be you typing away madly. Okay, I'll mute you again. And area code 281. Area code 281?
Yes, I'm here.
And what was your name?
Rose.
Rose. Hello, Rose.
Hi, and I appreciate you all. Okay, the way I'm understanding this is right now as a collective, we all decided to shift. We're shifting everyone from the physical plane, the 3D into the 5D energy. So the way I'm understanding this is OPPT brought it into the physical. And what we're all doing, us aware ones, is we're bridging it for the 3D to understand and to bring it up into the 5D or 5E energy level. So I'm thinking that right now all the stuff that we're figuring out and so on is going to be, even though it's difficult right now to figure it out and we're having fun with it and so on and so forth, but eventually we're going to all be on the same level. It's just to bring it into the awareness of all. That's the way I'm seeing it.
Yeah, well, I know that when Heather talks, she talks about bringing it down. So the information and that she's utilized in order to construct all of this is something she has, in my mind, brought down from 5D. And we've made the collective choice. We definitely made that. If, even the stragglers, I think, got in and made that by the end of last year. And to shift, to make a change. We've had enough. And this is what we're doing now. We're bringing this in and we're grounding it in 3D. And in the process, we're bridging the gap, I feel, that between 3 and 5.
Right. In order for us to all be free. So the way I'm looking at it right now is, it's about digital, it's about money, it's about, having two coins to rub together. But at the same thing, once we do that, and once everyone is on the same page and aware and the news is saying it and all this disclosure comes, then we're up that other level as a collective, as aware and unaware, which will be aware then.
I've just got Seraph. I agree with you, but I've got Seraph here trying to get on the line as well. Is that you, Seraph? 612?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, fantastic. First of all, I want to say this. Every time I go on and watch your show from the Internet, I love the sigil you have on the front of your Blog Talk pictures, the sigil.
Oh, thank you.
But anyway, that's another
Barbara
story.
Gets all the credit for that.
Thank you.
Okay, what I wanted to say was I understand fully how the brother on the call feels with respect to how the CVAC should function. My only concern is this. The CVACs will only have custodians, and a custodian is no different than a custodian in your elementary school. Their job is to make sure everything's running properly. Now, as a free society, if an individual wants to use their value to buy a new Corvette every 15 seconds, that's their choice because it's theirs. And if we're going to, as CVAC custodians, decide for others what they can do, we will be no different than the tyrannical government we're trying to leave. Not to mention, all humans have the funds, so there's no need to help the needy. As all we need to do is make them aware that they are no longer in need. I think the biggest job that the CVACs are going to be doing is providing, basically heralding the truth. And I also believe that if human beings on this planet, let's just use Americans, if Americans were ready in the minds of the elite or the cabal, if they felt like we were ready to see buildings come down in demolition form, if they felt like we were ready to see Martin Luther King get his head blown off, if they felt like we were ready to see Hurricane Sandy rush through a whole state, or Katrina knock down a whole city, if they believe that we were ready for that, then I believe that every human being on the planet is ready for some good news for a change. That's just me.
I agree.
That's excellent.
Thanks, guys.
And look, Sarah, that's exactly, or in part, the first bit was what I was interjecting into Julian's description before, that the CVAC is specified to give unencumbered immediate access to value. Now, let me just speculate for a minute about the information Julian's presenting to us. It's given to him for a purpose, and I'd just like to put this thought in your mind. I think there are seeds inside this kind of information that are here to test us, to make sure we really get it. And Julien said to us, well, he's seen this thing where, there's some kind of petition system and it's fairly structured in the way we're accessing value. Maybe that's been put in, that information, to test whether we're really reading these documents and really getting the message that, no, it's fully unencumbered access to value. And we'll have to chew on this and think about it some more. But there may be some other little nuggets in there too that are there to test us, and we just have to feel our way through Julian's information.
Well,
this is what you're saying.
As Heather spoke, Heather made it very clear that some things, some energies, because energies come in all different forms, some energies are in place to hold the contrast. The job is because you cannot know cold if you've never felt cold. You can't know what it's like to feel love if you've never felt indifference or disgust. Everything in the duality of our universe is designed so that we can have a contextual field. But I know for me, if I knew, and I do know, if I knew via some announcement during a Super Bowl or president's message or whatever, if they said to me, you have $10 billion in lawful money, every human being on the planet, man, woman, boy, and girl, they said that to me, I'm not interested in putting in a petition. I'm just interested in knowing, where do I go? Now, that's just coming from a purely mundane, lower-level chakra. Lower doesn't necessarily mean bad or good or bad. It just means lower. A lower-level chakra response. But knowing what I know from having been connected to all of this since the very beginning, my belief is this. 99.99% of all of this has nothing to do with paperwork. This is a springboard, if you will, to force us to really address the energetic change that occurred coming into this new paradigm. And like I've stated before, this whole new paradigm, in my opinion, of course, is like the switching from Windows 7 to Windows 8. Everybody doesn't know about Windows 8. And some people's computers will never have Windows 8 on it, but they do have access to Windows 8 whether they use it or not. And once you get Windows 8, you can go back and use Windows XP if you want to on Windows 8, but not a lot of stuff's going to work on it. So the old paradigm, those living in 3D, I believe that in America, of course, the IRS doesn't even have people working in the bigger offices. They just got people who are going and doing their jobs, and most of the people who are getting notices in the mail and all that kind of stuff, that's computer generated. I think they already are done. I believe the whole thing, the whole shooting match is over. President of the United States Corporation, Obama, was just driving around my city of Minneapolis yesterday. That's what they say. I didn't see him. All I saw was a black limousine with a presidential seal on the side. But if he was driving around Minneapolis, what was he doing here? I mean, what's so important in Minneapolis that he needs to drive around town? And I know they're not wasting our time and energy on gun control. That's ridiculous. So they have nothing to do because they have no money to do it with. They're talking about Mali and all these different it's all designed to keep us in a lower vibration. And all of us, our job is to get out completely of how we look at things. If it sounds remotely like a duck, stop looking at that duck. Let's go somewhere else. Because
and you're right, and you're really right about the CVAC being a custodian.
That's all we do.
That's absolutely true, because the CVAC isn't going to tell and order people what to do.
No,
because then you're back in
just like the custodian at your high school didn't tell you what to do. His job was for you. Your job to the custodian was to say, "Hello, Mr. Johnson," and Mr. Johnson's job is to say, "Hello, Junior," and then go on to fixing, making sure the heat's working and the lights are on, and making sure that nothing happens, and if something sprinklers. You know what I mean? That's what their job was, to make sure, because our job is going to be, and understand that this is a job that's on the level of angelic. That's why I use the term seraph. That's my name. Because my job is not to make anybody do anything. My job is guardian of that which matters most. And what matters most to me and should be to everyone else is freedom. Because when you have freedom, everything else falls into place.
Right.
For me, the perfect... Sorry, Bob.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, for me, the perfect explanation of the CVACs is they are, support structures, and they are there to ensure that all the infrastructure is in place that is necessary and that processes work efficiently. That's it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've got to go, guys, but I really appreciate it. Thanks for putting me on the call, and I listen almost every time you guys are on. Right now, I have to go, though, so I would love to say that I'm sure I'll get the replay. I'll listen to it later tonight.
Thanks, Jeff.
Love you all. Peace.
Hey, what your Facebook is Seraph, just Seraph, isn't it?
No, my Facebook is facebook.com/Greg, GREGSAIN. That's my 3D name. But I also have an opt-in page called facebook.com/OPPT INNOW.
Yeah.
Okay, because I know people in the chat would like to connect with you, so thank you for that.
Cool. Connect away. Peace.
Thanks for joining.
Great stuff.
Okay. One of the things I wanted to say is a lot of, I don't know, impressions. They're impressions right now. They're becoming memories. But when you started talking about being tested, I'm remembering being in our sleep time, and everyone who was ready was asked the same question. Are you ready to shift? Are you ready to make the transition? We could have transitioned immediately at that time. But almost every single person, to a person, all were concerned about the ones they would leave behind. Almost every person. What about these ones? What about how can I leave without the ones I love? And this has been the theme, that's been, as we've been moving forward, to have the highest good of the whole. And lots of different versions are possible in leading up to that. And there could be interim versions of the CVAC, and we get to decide how we want to go. We can go straight to the highest level if we feel we're ready for that, or we can go through any of those interim ones in between. But I believe the most of the people that are listening here right now are in their fifth dimensional awareness, and it will probably flow to them first. And that's how organically it should. That's how organics work. And they would go out and start to do. Because once you have those means, what are you going to do? Most of you aren't going to splurge it on automobiles. You wouldn't be listening to the 5D Media Network if you were of that caliber person. Most of you are going to want to go out and help. Eliminate all of the immediate problems that you have at hand and then help. And people are going to wonder, how are you doing this? Well, let me tell you a little story about the CVAC. And thus it spreads. Because slowly, each and every one of us, as we are going out and are doing, because we're going to be given the means in order to go ahead and do and be what we choose, in our doing, we are going to come in contact with others. And it is our responsibility to educate them when they ask questions like that. And thus the knowledge is spread. You are bringing them now up to that vibration, that understanding of freedom, that understanding of the true history. Because at that point, we will have available to us absolute data that we can point to and show these people as we're spreading out the membership. And it will grow, because once they see the difference between the system that they have and the system that they can have, it becomes an academic decision. Who in their right mind would want to keep the old one?
No one I know.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring out some more callers who have been waiting for quite some time, guys. Ranton, if you're there, your mic is now live. Ranton? Oh, I can hear you getting ready. Yep, I can hear you. I can hear you clicking and...
Yeah, okay, that's me then.
That's you, gotcha.
Yeah, okay, if you can hear me, I don't know.
Yes,
yeah, I called from Germany. I'm a little bit überrascht now. You got me on the wrong foot. I was just typing. Yeah, I like to say that we in Germany are working on the CVAC idea for a little bit longer. We didn't call it CVAC until we know that it's a CVAC, and we are working on it, and we can do it, and we will do it.
Fabulous.
So
fabulous.
Yeah, I wrote some of the ideas to Heather, and we had it translated into English, and so I hope we can share these ideas some more. What I just wanted to type in is when we are all millionaires, billionaires, whatever, there will be no need to help any other people. So it's just living and feeling and enjoy and have fun together. That's the point. I think with this joy there comes creativity. So we're all having a big party and can talk to each other. I mean, who knows his neighbors? Look at these giant houses where you have all these doors, and maybe you know your next neighbor. But so let's have a party on the streets and celebrate, and then maybe sit at the beach or something, and just relax and have some ideas how the future may look like. We are so overwhelmed by all our problems that we have now, that it is very hard to get a clear thought with all this negative energy, you might say, floating around all these people. So when this is gone, the people might take a deep breath and then say, okay, now we are free. We have all the money. We have all the things we need. So what are we going to do with it? Yeah, is it like a Star Trek future that we want, or is it like the small hobbit homes that we all knew, or what is it going to be? So
I want the Jetsons.
Yeah, I think we need to relax and take a deep breath and see what comes up in us all. So this is we are talking too much about problems and helping each other. This is because we are still in this set of mind that the others need help. There is no need. There's just talking and be with them. So say hello, and there it's okay, and give them a smile. Everyone you meet on the street, every person that's in your 10 meters radius or 30-foot radius or whatever is the most important people in the world. So talk to them. Yeah, give them a smile and help them carry the garbage out, or just talk to them and let them know that you are there, and the other way around. And I think that's the way we...
When I say, Ranton, when I say help people, I mean educate them. because people will need to be educated, and people will need to become aware.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you one question. Woher kommst du?
Ja, ursprünglich aus Hamburg.
Hamburg.
Yeah,
ich war in Bitburg.
Stop showing off, Bob.
Yeah, the transcriptions team gonna have a heyday with that.
Yeah, that's no problem. This is my name is Jens or Montauk, and so this is just the Skype nick I used some years ago. So you can call me Jens or John or Montauk or whatever you like. So thank you for tuning in.
The guy from Germany, because you're our first German caller.
Maybe I can just add. I've several good contacts with the alternative media in the European region, also with Germany and Austria and the Switzerland, and we have a great meeting in Alsfeld this February at the 16th and 17th, where we will discuss the OPPT, and we have some of the leading grassroots groups there where we discuss the points, what will our future be? So what are we deciding to do now to get it going? And so the CVACs are coming just in hand, and we can work them in, and this is the perfect time. And we are working on this whole cooperation thing for years now, because we have in Germany a little bit special situation, and we're on it. And love and peace to all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for calling in. It's a real
thank you, Jens.
Real treat to get a call from Germany. So that's great.
We'd really like. I'll just say, Lisa, we'd love to hear from people all over the world.
Absolutely. And we've got people, I have no idea where they're calling from, but we've certainly got plenty on the line. We've also got area code 479. 479?
Hi.
Yes, hi.
I was just calling in because this is Sarah. I couldn't get you on the computer again.
Sarah. Okay.
I don't have my hand up. I was just listening.
Okay, well, I'll put you back on mute. Thank you, Sarah, for joining in again. Okay, we do have some other things to get to, but I just want to get through these people who've got their hand up. Area code 818. Area code 818?
Hello.
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 Who are we talking?
So, I've been listening to this since this has been going on, and I have an interesting question since it's tax season now. Is there anything like these UCC files that we should file and try to get out of the taxes, or what are some things we could do?
Well, I don't feel qualified to answer that when it comes to the US, so anybody else in the US got any ideas?
Well, actually, Chris Ken and Scott Bartle are working on a document which we mentioned in our show yesterday on Freedom Reigns, which would put them on notice and basically say, if you wish to extort money from me, please be aware that you're operating in your individual unlimited capacity, as the government and the banking system has been foreclosed. And if you wish to continue to extort money from me, these are my terms. For every request for money, that will cost you $2,000, and so on and so forth.
That document should be available on the website, the opt-in, OPPT-in.com website by the end of the week.
Okay. So
also, can I also just make a comment about that? I'll make it really quick.
Of course.
Based on the discussion we've been having here today, that document, whilst it looks like a legal document and is a deflection of their attempts to make advances to you, unwanted advances, it's actually an invitation for them to actually find out about OPPT and join us. And if we use it with that energy, I think it'll work brilliantly for our end result, which is to make people look in this direction.
Because at the very least, you're getting the employees to question.
What was the name of that form again?
It's going to be called courtesy notice, because we're doing them a courtesy by putting them on notice and informing them as to what's really going on. We're actually helping them. When you read the first page, it won't look like that, but that's what's going on. And we want everybody to reach that energy when they start to use this, because we know that will just make it work so much better in the medium to long term. Initially, they will find it confusing because it will cause them to do some homework.
Right. Because, I actually thought this would have happened already, and so, I just didn't even pay my taxes last year, and I just got a notice for that. And so I was wondering, if there was, and so that is on the One People's Trust website? Or it will be?
It will be by the end of the week, we believe. Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
We'll release that.
Awesome.
All right, thank you for the question.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling in. Okay, we still have a couple of things we want to get to. One is doing the gold meditation. A friend of mine, Vera, here in Sydney area, recorded the gold meditation, and I think it's actually a great idea to do today because of the conversations we've been having in regards to funds and value and assets and everything else. And if you haven't tried to do the meditation yet, then doing it along as a guided meditation is a great way to get into it. So we'll do that in maybe about 10-15 minutes. Brian, are you still with us?
Yeah, I had to mute the call and put it down for a few minutes, but I'm back.
Okay. Is there anything else you wanted to address?
For me personally? Yeah, I have I want to put out the call for a few specific things that we're looking for as far as the website goes. So that way, if anybody's listening, they can send me an email, and I have that list here, and I just have to pull it up, and that would be a front-end developer. By the way, I don't know what most of these things are, so I'm just going to read them. A front-end developer, an information architect, a designer with Adobe Creative Suite skills, Illustrator preferably, a content manager, additions to the social media team to cover Reddit, Pinterest, and Instagram, etc., and then a back-end developer with experience with international sites, and then somebody that knows SEO, and then if anybody knows how to do mobile app design. Those are the most immediate needs that we have for the website. So,
well, you actually have Kevin Miller in the chat room saying I can be a front-end developer. So Kevin,
perfect.
Send an email.
Cool. And then the only other thing, it looks like on AC360 you can't view others' comments, but on I believe it was CNN, we have the same feature. Let me just make sure. We have the same feature where we can view all the other comments, like on the one that we just did before. NBC. So if we want to put that out and have some fun toward the end of this call.
Yeah, I was just looking at the Fox News one because it's got 2.8 million likes.
Oh, can you view other comments on there?
It doesn't look like it, unfortunately.
Yeah. So I think that's how they protect themselves.
Yeah.
So let me see. NBC, you can. I just looked on it right now. It's just /NBC. So if we want to have at that, we can do that right now. Let me see.
Maybe if you're a friend. Okay, you've got to be a friend of it at Fox to post on it.
Yeah, so on NBC, I'm looking at it right now. You can post, and it says post by others also. So it's the exact same as the one that we did before, except it's on NBC. Okay. So if we want to go crazy on that right now, we can.
Yeah, let's do it. NBC. So it's just facebook.com/NBC.
/NBC. And
okay.
I know there's something else I want to talk about, but it's okay if I remember it, we can go over it. But I know we only have 30 minutes left, so do your thing, Lisa.
That's all right. I'm at NBC's Facebook page right now. So come on, guys. I'll just post it in the. If Barbara hasn't done it already. In there. So everybody typing away.
By the way, I'm going to, by next call, which will be next Monday, I'm going to have a list of emails that we can do, email campaigns. And if anybody has any of these fun ideas, throw them to OPPT Ground Crew. Somebody sent me an email in regards to like reverse serving the judges and politicians, kind of like somebody does when they send a process server out to your house. Reverse serving them with the documents that we're going to be putting out. But fun ideas like that, keep them coming.
Yeah, great, excellent. Oh, wrong thing. Okay, sorry, I'm busy typing to NBC. Okay, it's disappearing though. Oh no, there it is. There they are.
Here we go.
Here we go. Here we go. This is fun. I love doing this. This is good fun. Dear NBC. Okay, one people. Here we go. They're coming in. Fabulous people. Oh,
be the first network to tell the truth.
Go.
It's funny, someone's put almost exactly what I wrote in there. Be the first network to tell the truth. I said, be the first. It's a good message.
Be the first. And they're everywhere. Look at that. Already. They're everywhere.
I love this.
Try reporting some real news.
And guys, if you decide to get together and do some in-person flash mobs anywhere, make sure you film it. Send it to us at the Facebook page, the opt-in Facebook page. We'll get it on a YouTube channel. We'll get it everywhere.
Look at this. Norway here. Absolute full data now. Full disclosure now. Report one people. Public trust now. Thank you, Norway.
Thank you, Norway. Thank you, Germany. Thank you, world. Because, oh my God, this is just a beautiful thing to see. And, I've got Santos just trying to... Oh, no, he's not. Here we go.
Yeah. Folks, when you're writing in a comment, do put the country you're from. I think that'll probably make a big point to them.
Yeah, that's true too. So this is global. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So is that it for updates, Brian? Or anything you want to make sure you get out there today?
I don't know. I guess that's it for now. Wow, this is the first time you've rendered me speechless on one of these calls, Lisa.
On or off these calls, in fact.
I gotta go with the theme that I've been putting out there since we started these calls, which is just sending so much love and gratitude out to everybody that's listening, and watching this thing spread is, gosh, it was intense watching my email inbox fill up last night with people from all around the world volunteering their services, and I just I can't thank everybody enough, and we're all in this together, and we might be the voices talking, but we represent everybody, and I'm just literally, I'm speechless. You got me. Thanks, everybody. I mean, it's been a great call. I'm just looking forward to the amount of progress that we make week in, week out until it's funny, until we won't need to do these calls anymore, and we'll probably still do them. So.
Just because they're so much fun. I just want to send a call out to our lovely lady in Australia, Brian. Her name's escaped me, but she sent you an email offering her services, and she said she would sweep floors. She didn't care what she did to make this a reality. So, if you're listening, thank you so much.
Here's her. Actually, I think I have her email real quick. If you want me to read it, where it go?
If you've got it handy, that'd be lovely. I think it typifies. Excuse me. I think it just typifies everyone's attitude at the moment.
Yeah, I agree. I know it's on here. Let me see. Hold on a second.
No problem.
I'm actually at work right now, and somebody is knocking on my door. Let's see. I might have to come back to you. On the phone, Lisa.
That's okay. What else was I going to mention? The Monday night program on Freedom Reigns, opt-in. It will be every Monday night for the foreseeable future until, as Brian just said, it's not needed anymore. TCI, obviously, every week has been for some time. We're focused more on, getting the conversation started about how the collective imagination is expressing itself right now, and at the moment that focus is clearly on the One People's Public Trust. And we've seen things come and go in the course of this show. We've seen things come and go, for years, but they've all been, Bob and I were having this discussion yesterday, how everything that's grabbed our attention over the last 12 months in particular really do seem to have been stepping stones. And some of the things we've seen looked brilliant from a 3D perspective because they were really coming from a 4D place. So they were absolutely a step up in the right direction. And now OPPT's come along, which to everybody's understanding seems to be coming from a 5D place. So it's a step up yet again. So who knows what's next, guys? Who knows what's around the corner and what it's going to look like? And from where I'm standing now, it seems that it'll be the involvement and the rolling out of the CVACs. That's obviously, what I'm seeing from where I'm standing and what my vantage point is right now. What do you say about that, Bob? Yoda?
I agree. I think that, it's been the ability to let go, of things that were no longer serving you, and they were stepping stones. We all had the ability to hold our to reserve our expectations as to what was going to happen, and just allow what resonated with us to guide us. And here we are. And I do believe that once the CVACs do become, and maybe this is the reason why it didn't happen in all of those other cases. Like we were talking about earlier, Lisa, it didn't happen in the 4D paradigm because that wasn't where the final destination was supposed to be, and it certainly didn't happen in the 3D. But once the 5D paradigm presented itself, look at how the energy is flowing. It's unbelievable. I've never seen. How many people do we have on the line? I don't even know. It's crazy.
Well, we've got 283 people just playing in the chat room, so I have no idea how many are listening.
Well, there's a lot. There's
a lot.
There's quite a bit. And that must be where we're heading. And so everything then must follow. Everything's got to be brought up to, like Chris said, the One People's Trust raised the bar.
Certainly, it did. And look, the thing that I find amazing is just the energy blast that I get from the callers. It's palpable, and I've never struck anything that cuts through to people's core feelings so deeply. It's absolutely amazing.
Now, Lois, you've been along this ride from the beginning with Heather and the other trustees. How have you seen it evolve?
Oh, greatly. First of all, because of the grid's in place now, and things are happening a lot faster on the grid than what happened in the 3D. And so we're really going at a faster pace. And as you see, when Heather did the investigations back in 2008, 2009, when she was trying to go after all this fraud and the the fraud against the foreclosures on homes and all of that stuff, she was collecting all that information to defunct the banks, because the banks own the judicial, the government, so forth, because it's a corporation. And they got too much power. And now you're seeing at a real fast pace all of these bankers being arrested, the higher-up bankers are being arrested. And do you know how many people are in that bank that just go there because they have a job, but they want to do the right thing, but they're afraid to say anything because they're going to lose their job and they need to pay their bills and get food on the plate and all that stuff? Do you know how excited they are now? because they'll stay in the banking system, but they're ready to do the right thing. And that's why countries are coming. We've never had countries coming after the CVAC like Australia and Germany and, let's see, there was another one.
Italy.
Actually, I saw a perfect example of what you're talking about at Occupy movement in Sydney. There was bankers there who came out and said, we are, and these were, people in sort of mid-level management, and said, we've been trying to fight from within the system for years to make changes, and they haven't been able to. And it was really, really emotional. They were really moved.
Right, and I think there were like 900 bankers arrested just in Australia alone, and there's bankers being arrested left and right in Europe, and bankers being arrested here in the States. Not as much as over in Europe and Australia and stuff, but it's going to reach that. And so I've seen a lot of involvement going through so fast. It's not going to take years and years and years like people think it's going to take. It's going to happen in a twinkling of an eye, and I'm really excited about that. I'm excited about how people are excited, and that we're remembering that we're all one. That's all that we are, is all one. And there's a lot of powerful in that, all one. So that's all I can say, and my input for now is just keep focused on what you're doing and keep Source as your main contact. Go within. Each of us has that contact and can speak to Source. So keep your focus. Don't let it get distracted.
Thank you very much, Lois.
You're welcome.
Okay, guys, I'm going to start this gold meditation from Vera's contribution, and stick around and go through it. It only goes for about 8 or 9 minutes. So if you haven't done it before, it's very, very enjoyable. It's great. And we will post it up on the Facebook page too, so you can download it or, for your own use later on, whenever you want to do it.
Already been done.
Already been done, of course it has.
Yeah. I just want to make a point to everybody too about these meditations. If you're involved in this meditation, you are doing it. You're putting energy into the same place as everyone else is involved in this meditation, no matter when they did it. Okay, so the meditation itself is growing at a point in space and time which you'll contribute to by doing it now, even if the first person that did it was 3 weeks ago. So we're adding to an effect which is already in play. It's powerful stuff.
Absolutely powerful stuff. And also a great stepping stone for thinking about the consciousness of other things. Like we did mention on one of the shows, I can't tell you when or which one because they're all blending into each other, but we talked about all of the hidden information that's underneath the Vatican. It has a consciousness, and I think it wants to be released. So you can talk to that consciousness, honor it, free it. You can talk to the consciousness of the elements and anything else that humanity via the Cabal have tried to enslave. Free it. So use this as a stepping tool for that as well. So I'm going to mute myself, and we are going to play Vera's Gold Meditation. Gold meditation.
they want to have some fun. Ask them if they want to co-create in one the visibility of absolute truth in a twinkling of an eye. Then be there with them. See them. Touch them. Dance with them. Love them. Allow them to wrap you in their luminescence, to touch you, to dance with you, to love you back. Ask the gold, silver, and other precious metals and minerals in all their states, gases, liquid, solid, but all love, to go to every city on earth and manifest visibly in each city a huge visible display of their eternal presence for all to see and know. All other energy to protect the displays with transparent vaults. Ask that the displays and vaults shall let no other energy pass into that vault that is anything less than eternal heart at absolute frequency and vibration of Source. The team, eternal, universal, galactic, and earthly, all be made visible in a twinkling of an eye at each display and vault when the first eternal heart at absolute frequency, vibration, and intent of Source enters the vault and dances with the eternal hearts of all inside for all the world to see and know. Remember, see, know the eternal hearts of the one people, the manifestations of all creation's universe, beating in a beautiful cadence and symphony of creation's universe. See these displays and vaults intelligently move in the city and play with the powers that were and the one people there by moving themselves as they choose by free will to increase the energy vibrations and frequencies exponentially and perpetually. Do you agree to do the new job?
Come back, everybody. Big shout out to Vera for her meditation. That was great.
I love that.
Wow. That was pretty good.
Wow.
Nice.
Now,
okay.
Lisa, are you going to tell them some of the reactions that Heather got from that meditation?
Oh, people have had some extraordinary experiences with it.
Including the powers that were, apparently. they were not happy.
No,
they were. I don't know, how much can we say about that, Lois?
Just a lot of fun things happening, and a lot of experiences, and people actually feeling the energy of the gold coming and joining their energy, and the visions that they're getting, and even the dreams at night they're getting. That's been coming through emails left and right on how powerful this meditation is, and it is, because everything is energy. Your walls, your bed, your chair, everything's energy, and you learn to play with these things. Then the illusion goes away.
Can we talk about the multi-dimensional aspect of it?
Oh, that it's not only here on this plane. You mean it's in a universal and all the universes?
Yes.
That's what you're talking about? Yes. And it's not
in
only
various forms.
In various forms, because not only did our planet, but other planets, their gold got stolen too, and their slaves too, and this is not just our universe, but other universes and other planets like ours, and it's just a wonderful thing that's happening. And to learn how to play with these energies, I think has brought about the grid.
Yes, right. One of the things we heard was that the response to that meditation throughout all dimensions and all creation, that there was a response to that meditation throughout all dimensions and all creation, and that the equivalent of the cabal throughout the universe were freaking out.
Yes.
Whether it's the wizards behind the scene, the energetic hierarchy, so to speak, all went, hang on, where's my gold going?
Yeah.
When the one people wake up, everyone will know it.
They're discovering the queen. They're discovering gold-plated tungsten in their vaults instead of the gold. The gold has been taken away from every place on this planet and is stored with source, absolute source.
You know what? There's a Rumor Mill News article that talks about all the tungsten bars, and to corroborate that, and it's happening everywhere right now.
Yeah. Yes.
One day Heather will come out and she'll tell all her gold stories. I mean, they're absolutely fascinating.
I know. She'd be quite. She could make a movie out of this, or write several books.
Oh, there so needs to be a movie about this. It so does.
As long as I get to play mom.
It wouldn't be a movie without you playing yourself as mom, Lois.
All right, guys, I just want to say again a huge thank you to everybody who's contributed today. Thank you to everyone who participated in our flash mob. I have to say that we're having an impact already. There are 5,077 people talking about opt-in on NBC, 5,800 plus talking about OPPT flash mob, specifically on CBS. So
wow.
It's already having an impact.
Fantastic.
Okay?
Also, Lisa,
you.
While we were on the call, just in the last 10 minutes, I got a voicemail from a DJ in L.A. who goes by the name of Evan K. And she's at KPFK 90.7, and she wants me to go on live on the radio to be on an interview tomorrow night on her show. And they go Los Angeles, Santa Barbara, North San Diego, and Ridgecrest. So we're breaking in, baby. It's happening.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Well, great. Have a great show, Brian. Terrific. And if any of you have got connections to radio stations or DJs, you know, give them the word and see if they're interested in exploring this. And anybody in any form of media for that matter, but you know, a radio station or a radio show that's got a good reach. Speaking of which, I haven't even looked, but has Alex Jones addressed this at all?
Who?
I don't know. Oh, Alex Jones. I don't know if Alex Jones has or not.
I'm kidding.
That's kind of funny. I haven't even thought about him actually. Not that I've ever given him much thought at all, anyway. But I mean, I really hadn't at all.
Well, the people he works for have been foreclosed, so. You know.
Well, this is true. All right, guys. Next week we will do another flash mob. We will pick another site. And if you've got any ideas for places to do flash mobs, then please post it on the opt-in page or the opt-out page for that matter. And get the conversation started with people in your area for how to opt out. And we also need, Brian, we also need a place where people can go who are using perhaps this courtesy letter or other processes and can comment and leave a trail of their responses, their experiences, positive or negative.
We have a website. We actually have a website already designed for that, and somebody sent me the link the other day, and I'll give it to you so you can post it on the Facebook site, and then we'll put it on the opt-in site as well. And there's already a lot of posts in there, people telling stories and of how it went for them. So,
and I also encourage everyone to support each other. If you see someone that's posted or they're having trouble or wherever, support each other, because there's strength in numbers. And when they see us all acting in unison, it's going to be an amazing thing.
Yeah. And just before we go, we only got through about half of what Julian's message was, and I think we'll record a conversation with him and put it up there for further digestion. And thanks very much, Julian.
Yeah, thank you, Julian,
for coming on. Yeah.
Sure.
We got 10 seconds, guys, so everybody shout out and say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye from us.
Bye, guys.
Join us next Monday night on Freedom Reigns and next Tuesday night on 5D Network.